Yes, welcoming each and everyone back, the viewers on YouTube, Facebook, or any other social media platform. We welcome you to this segment of Glimpses of the Glorious Past on the 5th of March. If you do not already know, in this segment, we go through the years since the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism started his public life, and we visit the various activities and contributions and revivals that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has done on this day in the various years. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has revived and re-established the Sri Kailasa nation, through which he is not only protecting authentic Hinduism from the persecution that it has been going through for the last thousands of years, but also making all the sacred sciences available to each and every one of us, to humanity, for us to experience the power of the authentic Hindu sacred sciences and have the shifts and breakthroughs in our life. So without further delay, let us move into the first year. In the year 2006, on this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam, conducted the first ever Dhyanas Purana Convention in Los Angeles, California, United States. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism guided the delegates into the meditation to experience the Annamaya Kosha, the bliss layer, through unclutching. The Annamaya Kosha is the physical layer of the body we are carrying, which is made of flesh, bones, and blood. The physical body, the Annamaya Kosha. Because it is strengthened or weakened by food, it is directly built by food. Therefore, it is called the Annamaya Kosha. Let us listen to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism expanding on the truths of the experiences of the bliss layer through unclutching from the Dhyanas Purana program.
or get unclutched. Now in the same way you will sit, but with the help of the master. Now I will also be helping you to churn your inner being. I will also be helping you to go inside to your inner space or to the space beyond the emotions. Please sit straight, close your eyes. Be unclutched. Be unclutched, even from the thought of being unclutched. Don't even remember you are supposed to be unclutched. Just be.
Yes. So entering into the second year after seeing the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, a small extract of him conducting the Dhyana Purana program. In the year 2007, on this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam, conducted a radio interview titled Raw Enlightening Answers from the Young Avatar. So let us listen to this radio interview.
Well, it always interests me that we have now DNA proof of our individuality, and yet so few people seem interested. And see somehow our individuality is conflicting with the idea of God as one, totality. But why can't both things be true?
See, I feel individuality idea only supports God is one. Because even in DNA, there is a big empty space. In every cell, there is, which is base for all DNAs to exist. So that base is what we call God, or individual consciousness. You can be anything.
Christian.
You can be anything and reach the highest heaven. See, highest heaven or hell is not even geographical. It is psychological. You create your hell, you create your heaven. So, be very clear, nobody can put you in hell or heaven. If somebody, you see, God is not a peeping Tom, sitting somewhere and having a big laptop and computer, doing all the accounts of what you are doing and with whom you are sleeping or with whom you are waking, with whom you are walking and all those things, and having a big accounts, and when you go back to him and he is sitting with a big stick to punish you and all. See, it looks too... I don't think people should be taught to live morally based on fear and greed. No. You are not a child still that you should be trained with a fear and greed. We are mature people. You should be allowed to be intelligent and don't bother about this hell and heaven and all those things. You see, no religion can assure, promise hell or heaven. And it is your own creation. All we need to do is understand the science behind hell and heaven and create what you want for yourself. If you want hell, create and enjoy, because if you have created because you wanted, it will not be hell.
Intention.
You see, intentionally if you create hell, even the hell will not be hell because you wanted it. If you are creating it, you are enjoying it.
Seems to me that if I seek to know, even if I make a mistake, I'm misaligned, what kind of God would not understand that my intention is pure?
That's all.
I'm okay with that. It seems to me that would be enough.
I think we should liberate people from fear and greed. The real religion is a religion which liberates people from fear and greed, not exploiting their fear and greed.
Imagine being afraid of God. Yes, that's
So, exploiting the fear and greed is not the true religion. And that is, you see, the first thing, we are not talking about yourself to other people. You can't talk about yourself to other people. I am only talking about the technology through which I experienced myself, so that it may help you also to experience yourself. That's all, is the truth. So actually you cannot talk about yourself to others. You understand? Because yourself is such an intimate experience. You can't, forget about talking. You can't talk actually. It is such an intimate experience, you can't express it in the words. The moment you try to express it in the words, it becomes again one more theory. So you can't express it in the words. You may only share the technique which you used to experience the self, or you may inspire the other person by the solid blissful experience which you had when you experienced yourself. That's all. You can give only inspiration and guidance, not the experience itself. Okay?
Does that make sense
Thank
to
you.
I hope so.
Thank you.
We're almost out of time. I just can't thank you enough.
Thank you. Thank you.
You know, I've done radio for 35 years. I've been here in Los Angeles, in the KPFK for 13 years. And I've done interviews with a lot of mystics and gurus and swamis and authors and brain researchers. And I feel such a good energy from you.
Thank you.
And I must say, even from your people.
Thank you.
The people that came to me initially and suggested that we do this show. And so I just want to deeply thank you.
Thank you.
Because you don't have to come out.
So
People come
nice.
to you. And that you come out, that you would come down to KPFK and
Yes,
sit in our
yes.
studios and give me this opportunity and our listeners, just on behalf of everyone listening.
Thank you. Thank you. I really enjoyed your interview and the questions from the listeners.
Good.
And the whole experience.
Good.
Really, I also thank you. See, one thing, it is not that only students or the listeners learn. The person who is teaching also, I also learn. I also polish the way in which I express. So my expression is again and again sharpened and developed. The more I relate with the
So this is from the 5th March 2008. On this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, continued on the series of addresses and initiations from the Shiva Sutras, the technique that were given by Shiva himself to Devi in her enlightenment. For her enlightenment, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism unraveled the deeper meaning behind the sutras and compassionately answered all the questions of the delegates. Below, we can see some photos of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, elaborating upon the sutras. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam continued on the series of addresses and initiations from the Shiva Sutras. So here you can see some more pictures. Here, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism elaborated on the first chapter of the third sutras. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explained the term Shastra Yonitvat. Brahman is omniscient because of being the source of the scripture. Only truth had the capacity to reveal its truth, and nothing else had the capacity to reveal about its truth. Psychodrama of pain, pleasure, love, anger towards the person, object, or reality is corruption. Otherwise, in truth, in a reality, Shastra Yonitvat, reality is the origin of the truths about reality. Because it is origin about the truth, about the reality, because it has a capacity to reveal the truths about the self, it is great. So let us watch a video where Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism delivers more truth about the reality, revealing itself from the Shiva Sutra.
सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. I welcome you all with my love and respects. Welcome all the devotees, disciples, satsangis, samajis who are sitting with us around the world at this moment in more than 270 places in 135 cities in 28 countries. And 15 places are in two-way. I am able to see Dubai, Ohio, Singapore, Los Angeles, Guadeloupe, Seattle, San Jose, Malaysia. I respectfully remember the Brahma Vidya Sampradaya. Om Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartrubhyo Vamsarshibhyo Namo Mahatbhyo Gurubhyah. Today we are entering into the third sutra. In the first chapter, third sutra, Shastrayo Shastra Yonitvat. Today we are entering into the third sutra. In the first chapter, third sutra, Shastra Yonitvat. Sutra is just this much. Shastra Yonitvat. That's all. Translation says Brahman is omniscient because of its being the source of the scriptures. Swami Veereshwarananda translates as the omniscient and omnipotence of Brahman being the source of scriptures. The meaning, translation of the sutra is Brahman is omniscient because of its being the source of scriptures. Brahma Shastra Yonitvat. Just two words. Source of the Shastras. This is the source of the Shastras. Understand? First, let us understand the word Shastra. Shastra means truth about reality is Shastra. In the commentary, each one says their Shastras are Shastras. The Vedikas are saying Brahman is great because it is the source of Rig Veda, Yajurveda, all Vedas. Naturally, the Vaishnavas say, no, because it is source of Bhagavata and all the Vaishnavite scriptures. Each one debates on the word Shastra. Almost all the religious fights happened in India is just because of this one book, Brahma Sutra. Now I have to tell the truth. Each one was claiming their own meaning for this book. Which created too much of division, disturbance, led to fights, wars. Sometimes even natural calamities, because the guys who are fighting on the meaning of the Brahma Sutras, unfortunately sometimes have extraordinary powers to create even natural calamities. So the Indian religious war was not stopped with weapons and attack on each other. It sometimes used even the inner energies. Once in a Vedantic bookstall, a customer went and asked, showing two books, the Brahma Sutra Sankara Bhashya and Ramanuja Bhashya. Asked the seller, what is the difference between these two? The bookseller said 45 rupee. Because these books are rarely read, very rarely studied, very rarely understood. Rarely read, very rarely studied, very rarely understood. You need to understand this word Shastra Yonitvat, because it being the origin of the Shastras, it is considered to be omniscient, omnipotent, ultimate. So the word Shastra need to be understood. Shastra means the truth about reality. Truth about reality. only the omnipotent, omniscient intelligence will have guts to reveal its quality. Please understand. Only the ultimate will have the strength to reveal its qualities to you, to reveal truths about itself to you. I wanted all of you to understand the word Shastra does not mean just some book. Shastra means truth about reality. Only truth has a capacity to reveal its truth. Nothing else can reveal about its truth. Please understand, leading somebody in the path of truth is very dangerous unless you are established in it. If you are not established and you are leading, a disciple will find out your falsehood. That's one of the important, very important truth you need to understand. What is enlightenment? If you ask me now, I will tell. Fan is moving. TVs are functioning. People are sitting. I am talking. This is enlightenment. That's all. If you ask me, Swamiji, please teach Brahma Sutra for this moment, I will say, I am sitting on a gold-plated throne. Brahmachari is using a camera and clicking me. Time is 6:55 as per this clock. People are sitting in front of me with a lot of anticipation. Many have gathered around the world to watch what I am talking. This is Brahma Sutra, that's all. Only truth as innate intelligence to reveal itself. Shastra means truth about reality. Existence is great because it reveals all the truths about its reality. All the psychodrama you add on the things and persons and situations, if they are detected, truth is revealed. The moment you start the psychodrama of me being Guru, I start the psychodrama of you being a disciple. The moment you start the psychodrama of friendliness towards somebody, that person starts the psychodrama of friendliness to you. The moment you start the psychodrama of enmity towards somebody, the person starts the psychodrama of enmity towards you. Psychodrama of pain, pleasure, love, anger towards persons, object, or reality is corruption. Otherwise, in truth, in reality, shastrayonitvat, if I have to translate this sutra, shastrayonitvat, reality is the origin of the truths about reality. Because it is origin about the truths about the reality, because it has a capacity to reveal the truths about itself, it is great. I tell you, anybody who has a capacity to reveal the truths about himself will go to the deeper and deeper truths about himself.
Let us enter now into the year 2012. On this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam, answered a question about dissolving the Agamya karma. Agamya indicates new karma we amass and we move through life in an unaware state. This continual accumulation can itself become a pattern, a habit. This habit can be discarded easily since it lies at the most superficial level of karma. Yet, even while recognizing it, we still choose to indulge in it out of laziness. Therein lies the danger of agamya. We end up adding to our karmic bank simply out of unconscious habituation. With diligence, this karma is simple to melt. We need only determination and commitment, and we can succeed. So let us listen. Let us see the various happenings which took place on the year 2012 on the 5th of March.
Nithyanandam, this is Mark and welcome to NTV News, live from Bididi Ashram. It's Monday, March 5th, 2012. The headlines. In today's Bhagavad Gita discourse, Swamiji talked about Agamya Karma and some great updates from the Love and Light Heart, Mind, Body Festival in Singapore. Select your 10 major life patterns and to simply focus on unclutching only from them and only for 1 month. A new process for Life Bliss Program Level 1, and Everyday Life from Swamiji. Now for the day's top stories. 1,066 places, including 24 two-way connections from 260 different cities across 28 countries worldwide, connected through NTV this morning to partake in Swamiji's morning message from the Raj Sabha at Bididi Ashram. In today's morning talk, Swamiji answers questions about dissolving our Agamya karma. Agamya indicates new karma we amass as we move through life in an unaware state. This continual accumulation can itself become a pattern, a habit. This habit can be discarded easily, since it lies at the most superficial level of karma, yet even while recognizing it, we still choose to indulge it out of laziness. Therein lies the danger of agamya. We end up adding to our karma bank simply out of unconscious habituation. With diligence, this karma is simple to melt. We need only determination and commitment, and we can succeed.
Only when you understand, when you unclutch, you will understand the purpose of being alive. But because you have the wrong understanding about the purpose, you think if you unclutch from everything, what will happen to my life? Go on unclutching, unclutching, unclutching. That is the purpose of being alive. Understand? In the life, knowingly or unknowingly, constantly, every action brings certain dirt on your inner space. You are nothing but your actions. You are the totality of your actions. I can say you are the totality of the side effects of your actions. Every action you do leaves its imprint on you. Ramakrishna says very beautifully, if you are inside the charcoal godown, how much ever you protect yourself, there will be charcoal dust settling on your body. So life, as you understand external world, please understand leaves lot of dust and dirt in you, around you. By continuously unclenching, you keep yourself pure, not just pure. Even the dust which is put on you in the past gets healed, gets clean. So I feel first and foremost thing you need to do is establishing yourself in unclenched space, like growing unclenching in you. Understand? Please understand, unclenching is just like a plant. It can grow in you. Just because you tried 2 days and it did not work out, don't give up. It is not something like, now you try, it doesn't work out, and you stop doing and you will never be able to do. No. It's like growing. It's like a plant, a rose plant. Today there is no rose plant. But don't think tomorrow it will not be there. Keep the seed alive, pour water, have a little patience, tomorrow it will be there. Unclenching is like a tree, like a plant. You need to grow it. It took 6 years for Buddha to grow the Bodhi tree inside him. It took at least 10 years for me, from 12 to 22, for the banyan tree to grow in me. Unclenching is like a banyan tree. You need to grow. You need to make it happen. Understand? Initiation is like a small seed. Just because it has not grown in 2 days, 3 days, don't lose trust over the seed. No. Understand, it's like a growing tree. It is not like a magic wand. It will just appear. No. It's a growing tree. At one moment, the breakthrough when it happens will be really like a magic. But at the initial level, it is a growing tree. Have patience. Work on growing your consciousness, the direction unclenching. Keep on unclenching. That is the purpose of being alive.
Nitya Kriya for today was Care for Epilepsy, Surya Namaskar. Amazingly, and worthy of reporting on every single news program tonight across the entire globe, Swamiji said 1 month of Surya Namaskar will cease epileptic attacks. Just one more gem from Swamiji as we continue living in our lives.
So now we'll look into this. On this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, defined authenticity as the remedy for feelings of powerlessness. Any fear, any depression stems from some form of inward inauthenticity. When one's inner space is completely authentic, the power to lead and inspire others spontaneously blossoms, and the individual radiates natural leadership. A leader is one whose Kundalini is the most awakened among the members of a group. Quite naturally, all will turn to the person and follow his direction. This ability to galvanize and motivate our surrounding clears the path to enlightenment. So now we will move to the next year. On this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, elaborated on why we do not need to suffer. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explained that people have a tendency to cherish thoughts or actions for which they cannot handle the side effects. Then they compare themselves with the other to justify the insane behavior, thinking it is normal, because everyone else is in this way. As such, the deadly combination of ignorance plus arrogance keeps them in the suffering.
Today I wanted to expand how much the science of completion is required to remain sane in your day-to-day life. Please understand, I am defining insanity. For any action which you have done, any thought you have had, any space you have cherished and entertained, if you are not able to handle the side effect and after effect of that, you are insane. Please listen. I am defining insanity. Any action you have done, thought you have cherished, space you have entertained, if you are not able to handle the side effects and after effects of it, you are insane. Look into the life, look into the life. It is really unfortunate that every day you prove yourself to be insane. Please understand. One of the difficult thing is, after you prove yourself to be insane for 10 times, 11th time you give up on yourself and you think this is normal, and you use others' insanity to justify your insanity. I tell you, comparison is such a great healer for you. That is why you entertain comparison. When it hurts, you try to get rid of it, but it's a great healer and tranquilizer you are using. Comparison is one of the greatest tranquilizers human beings are using. It's one of the great tranquilizer. That's the right word I'll use. To keep you remain unconscious, to keep you in the same space of unconscious, to keep you aware in the space of unconsciousness. Comparison helps. Oh, all human beings are like this only. All are like this only. No. All are not like that. All are not like that. It's very unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. Understand that we justify others' insanity for us to remain insane. Just because others are unconscious, we come to the conclusion we can also be unconscious. No. No. Move your life from the pattern of unconscious and struggling. See, any guru, any master, any incarnation can give the signs. They can make you even realize, but you have to realize. Understand? You have to realize. Finally, the living has to be done by you, not by anyone else. No one else can realize it for you. You have to realize it. You have to live it.
now into the year 2015. On this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism presided over various activities, starting with the Pratikshapada Puja, the Inner Awakening, Day 15, the Nitya Kirtan, the Presidential Address, the Kalpataru Darshan in Adi Kailasa, Bengaluru, Adinam. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is always extremely active and performs various programs and activities throughout the day. Here we have an example of various activities performed by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism on this day in the year 2015, starting with the morning puja, followed by the satsang, the presidential address, the Nitya Kirtan, the Kalpataru Darshan, and the various sessions of the Inner Awakening 21-day program retreat. And that was the day 15th of that retreat. So let us see the other activities which took place on the year 2015 on the 5th of March.
Today, Rajarajeshwari Brahmotsavam, 10th day, Masi Maham, and Devi is gracing all of us in the form of Maha Saraswati on Hamsa Vahana. When fear takes over you, it's called panic attack. When greed takes over you, it's called restlessness. When authenticity takes over you, it is called satori. Understand? When that whole being took over, who am I that is experiencing this deep discontentment, suffocation? I can see very clearly that heaviness. You need to actually find out what is that makes you experience inside and outside as separately. What is that makes you experience that moves and moves not separately? What is that makes you experience something as far off and something as near?
நான் சென்னையிலேருந்து லாஸ்ட் மே இன்னர் அவேக்கனிங் அட்டன் பண்ணுறதுக்காக வாரணாசிக்கு போயிருந்தேன். அந்த இன்னர் அவேக்கனிங்கில் முக்கியமான இது எதுனாக்கா டெத் மெடிடேஷன். அந்த டெத் மெடிடேஷன் வந்து சாமிஜியை வந்து மணிகர்ணிகா காட்டில் கூட்டிகிட்டு போயிட்டு எங்களை போட்டில் இருக்க சொல்லி அது மெடிடேஷன் கொடுத்தார். அந்த மெடிடேஷன் பண்ணும்போது ஒவ்வொருத்தரும் அந்த பாடி எரியரை பார்த்துக்கிட்டே மெடிடேஷன் பண்ணாங்க. அந்த நேரத்தில் வந்துட்டு நான் பண்ணும்போது எனக்கு கிடைச்ச அனுபவம் வந்து நானே அதில் எரியிற மாதிரி பார்ட்ஸாக எரிஞ்சு விழுகிற மாதிரி நான் ரியலைஸ் பண்ணேன். அது ரெண்டாவது வந்துட்டு அந்த டெத் மெடிடேஷன் முடித்த பிறகு மறுநாள் எங்களுக்கு ஒரு எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் கிடைச்சது. போட்டில் நாங்கள் வரும்போது காற்று பலமாக அடித்து ரொம்ப அந்த நேரத்தில் சாதாரணமான பயந்துட்டு இருப்பாங்க. கொஞ்சம் கூச்சல் குழப்பமாயிட்டு ஒரே அலறாக இருந்திருக்கும். எங்களுக்கு அந்த டெத்தை பற்றி நாங்கள் தெரிஞ்சிட்டனால நாங்கள் அமைதியாக அப்படியே சாமியுடைய பேரை ஜெபம் பண்ணிக்கிட்டு இந்த மரணத்தை பற்றி தெரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டோம். இனி என்ன ஆக போகிறது அதுதான் அந்த பயம் எங்களுக்கு இல்லாமல் போயிடுச்சு. இப்போ நான் இந்த லாஸ்ட்டு மே இன்னர் அவேக்கனிங் அட்டன் பண்ணிட்டு வந்த பிறகு எனக்கு கிடைச்ச அனுபவம் வந்து மனசு புத்தி எல்லாம் தெளிவாக இருக்குது. ரெண்டாவது வந்து ப்ரெசன்ஸில் இருக்க கற்றுக்கிட்டேன். நான் ப்ரெசன்ஸ் மீன்ஸ் இப்போ நம்ம ஏதாவது ஒரு பொருள் காணாமல் ஏதாவது ஒரு மிஸ்டேக் ஆயிடுச்சுன்னா உடனே அது பதட்டம் அடையாமல் இது நடக்கணுண்டான காரணம் என்ன அப்படிங்கிற சிந்தித்து அது சரியான டெசிஷன் எடுக்கிறது, அந்த ஒரு புத்தி எங்களுக்கு கிடச்சது இந்த இன்னர் அவேக்கனிங் மூலயமா. அது இல்லாமல் இப்போ இந்த தடவை மே மாதம் வந்துட்டு எங்களுக்கு கிடைச்சதை விட அதிக அனுபவம் உங்களுக்கு சாமி கொடுக்க போகிறாரு. சிவோகம் எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸை கொடுக்க போகிறாரு. அந்த சிவோகம் எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸு ரெண்டாவது வந்து தேர்ட் ஐ அவேக்கனிங் சொல்லியிருக்காரு. அந்த 2 ப்ரோக்ராமும் சேர்ந்து கொடுக்குறனால உங்களுக்கு எங்களுக்கு கிடைச்ச அனுபவத்தை எடுத்தால் 100 மடங்கு அனுபவம் உங்களுக்கு ஜாஸ்தியாக கிடைக்கும். அதனால் இந்த இன்னர் அவேக்கனிங் வந்து கண்டிப்பாக மிஸ் ஆகாமல் வந்து கலந்துக்குங்க அப்படின்னு கேட்டேன்.
This is the place where life started. This is the place where science of living started. This is the place where science of enlightenment is shared first time on the planet Earth. This city is older than history itself, older than legends itself. Mahadeva settled here. This place is never forsaken. Avimukta Kshetra. Experience the science of enlightenment from the source. Get ready for a spiritual blast.
How can your inner image become consciousness?
What I think is your inner image is basically what you think yourself as, right? So when you think yourself as consciousness, your inner image will become consciousness.
When you know, like if your inner image is Shivoham and you start like I should wake up like Mahadeva, I should walk like Mahadeva, and I should talk like Mahadeva. As Swami told in Satsang, when you align all your actions, like when you align all your actions to this, your very DNA will start vibrating Shivoham. So when you're everything in you, every action you do, everything will start just radiating Shivoham. So at that, like when your whole being radiates Shivoham, everyone automatically will get inspired by you.
You will expect something from somebody or anything only when you don't have that inside you. If you have that inside you, you'll never expect anything from others.
And also Swamiji told in one satsang that whatever you have in your life is only because life has so much of compassion on you. If you don't have something, that also means that it's because life is compassionate on you. It is not that you do something and you get something from life. Only because of the gratitude you have, only if you have the gratitude for whatever you have, only then life will shower you with more and more things.
Entering now into the year 2016. On this day's presidential address, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducted the sacred Vishesha Diksha initiation for hundreds of Kailasa delegates, diplomats, and disciples and participants of the Conquering Time Convention. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has revealed the profound significance of worship, the Shivalinga, as revealed in the Kamikagama Purvapada. Through this day's Vishesha Diksha initiation, Kailasa's delegates, diplomats, and disciples are given access and the right to connect to Paramashiva through the Shiva Puja. Initiates are also bestowed with an Atmalinga for their personal Atmartha Puja. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism emphasizes a scriptural reference which states that many grand forms of knowledge and worship cannot be equal to even 1/1,000,000th parts of the greatness of the worship of the Shivalinga, inspiring millions towards the science of Hinduism, and yet another ritual conducted frequently in the nation of Kailasa. So let us listen to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism expanding on the Conquering Time webinar.
ईश्वरसमारम्भाम् नित्यानन्देश्वरि मध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. Welcome all of you with my love and respects. Conquering time. First, few basic understandings, few basic truths. Please understand, every sacred secret, every sacred truth I am uttering, every word need to be internalized and internalized. Do not sit with the intellectual tiredness. Usually people have this pattern. Tell us finally what we should do. No, things don't work like that. Please understand. Every word I am uttering matters. I'll give you a small example from my own life. One of my guru, Annamalai Swamigal, in course of conversation he told me that we are not the body, we are beyond pain and suffering. When I was sitting alone and contemplating about it, we are not the body, we are beyond pain and suffering. What does he mean by it? I actually experimented. I took a knife and cut my thigh to see whether we have pain or not. Of course, I had pain and I was taken to hospital and stitches were done and all that has happened. But I could not think what my guru uttered is lie. I was continuously contemplating. I had a yoga guru. He was also a Paramahamsa. One day he explained, he usually comes to the house where I was born and brought up. He will come home early morning, 4 o'clock, and drag me out of the bed and take me to the temple and teach yoga. I was a kid. Sometimes the moment I am out of bed, he will make me drink coffee so that I will not go back to bed. One day he was telling, see, before coffee, how you feel that you want to lie down and nothing other than sleep matters. Just a cup of coffee, you are ready to listen to me. And suddenly I became more important. Yoga becomes more important.
So now, this is from the 5th March 2017. On this day's presidential address, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, conducted the highly anticipated Ask the Avatar question and answer session with Mr. Mohandas Pai, a Padma Shri awardee and current chairman of Manipal Global Education. He was a former director of Infosys and highly respected person in multiple fields of industry. On this day, thousands from around the globe watched the earnest as Mr. Pai interviewed the avatar and received a clear, concise, and deeply profound answer, universally beneficial to all the people, from the questions about how to find peace and happiness, why the need for power, what causes conflict in relationships, to asking if we are responsible for others' success.
Entering now into the year 2018. On this day's presidential address, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism performed a very powerful and sacred Prana Pratishtha and Kumbhabhishekam of the Panchamukhi deity in the inauguration of the Devasthanam Anjaneya temple in India. On this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism performed a sacred Prana Pratishtha ritual infusing life energy in the Panchamukhi deity in the inauguration of the Devasthanam Anjaneya temple in India. On the other side of the world, Kailasa celebrated the Jivan Mukti Jayanti, which took place at Kailasa Spiritual Embassy in Toronto, while the famous Kalpataru Yoga Convention and Shivaliksha initiation took place in Adi Kailasa. Additionally, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and Nation of Kailasa offered free medical camps, spiritual healing, Anadan, Nityananda Yoga, training, and other activities enriching many with the science of paramanifestation and inspiring millions with the science of Hinduism.
Next, we have from the 5th March 2020, on this day's presidential address, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism expounded on the cosmic principle. Atma Tattva is the core principle, core truth, core reality of any living being. On this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism revealed even more about the Tyaga and the interferences of other Tattvas for Kailasa delegates, diplomats, and the disciples all over the globe. He also further expanded about Bhagavan Sri Krishna's teaching in the Bhagavad Gita about absolute Atma Tattva, which can never be destroyed, and why power manifestation and Guru are required for the kids. This day presidential address concluded with a powerful initiation and Mahavakya process. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Entering now into the final year of today's segment, last year, 2021. On this day's presidential address, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducted the 23rd session of Paramashivoham Convention. By participating in this convention, many people got healed from chronic diseases and changed their lifestyles to a more healthy way of living. People were able to read blindfolded and express many of the Shaktis of Paramashiva. It is because the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism endlesses compassion that many people have been healed and relieved from terrible karmas through his program, and endless hard work and tyaga for the sake of humanity. That day's re-telecast of the satsang on why Kailasa, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the paramount importance of people living inside the enlightened ecosystem, where the whole routine is designed around liberation and an enlightened approach towards the artha, kama, and moksha. So with this, we come to the end of today's segment. We thank you very much for having spent the time with us. We'll now be moving to the next part of today's program, which is an initiation from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. We invite you to register for Paramashivoham Level 3. It has started, but still it is open. So at kailasa.org/Paramashivoham. And with this, we thank you again. We invite you to come for the next program, the Kailasa Akashic Bhava Samadhi Darshan, which will happen in a few hours. So with this, thank you very much. Nityanandam.
अरुणाचले पवित्रतुजाम्बिके मधुरापुरी मीनाक्षी समयपुर इंद्राक्षी कांची कामाक्षी काशी विशालाक्षी कैलास ज्ञानाक्षी शिवशङ्करि शापविमोचनि शोकविनाशिनि शास्त्रते शिवसहिते शिवशम्भुशुभङ्करि शुम्भरि शुम्भपदास्तते सकलमनोहरि सुन्दरि सर्ववशङ्करि शङ्करतोषकृते जय परमेश्वरि नित्यसुमङ्गलि नित्यनितेश्वरि